Okay, hey everybody. So I am totally flying by the seat of my pants here today. Yeah, the lights seem off, so I'm going to go turn those on. Just a sec here. All right, I'm back. Okay, so Shannon here from Spirit Wellness, and as you guys may know, I've been sick for a few days, and hi, whoever's there, make sure you guys say hi in the comments so I know who's here. Yeah, I've been sick for a few days, and my family's been sick, so I've really learned to kind of roll with the punches as much as possible. However, today's topic from Spirit Wellness today, and myself, Shannon, is what's real and perceptions. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because there's been a couple of times, or more than a couple. Hi, Cindy. Good morning. I'm so glad you're here. I've been thinking about you lots, actually, so we'll talk at the end. Is a couple of people have made comments, and often actually people in my life have made comments that I'm glad that things are going really well for you. I'm glad that you're centered, that sort of thing. And it always kind of was funny when they said that to me, because I must just give that perception in the moment. And honestly, I'm just like everybody else, and so I want to have a talk about that, because it's human nature to really look at someone else in the moment and think, wow, isn't their life perfect, or isn't everything amazing for them? But the reality is, in real life, is that everybody has their shit. Like, seriously, everybody has their stuff. And I just know that now, and I just know that. And so when I when I see myself comparing, I try to reel myself back and be like, or if I see someone is grouchy to me, I'm in a space now. Hi, Leslie, how are you doing? Where I can put it into perspective, because I know everybody has their stuff, everybody. So I just want to put it in perspective for you guys today, is that for me, like, honestly, this week, Saturday, thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Saturday was a gong show, for real. I'm doing all this business stuff, and I'm trying to get all my kids together, and we were going out, and literally Saturday, I was not a nice person. Like, that's just what I'll say. I was not a nice person to my husband. He recognized that. I asked for some time to not feel overwhelmed so I could get organized. He gave it to me. But what I've learned, actually, is that not to beat myself up over that, and to know that tomorrow is a new day, right? Because if I carry that on, then I'm going to not be a nice person the next day either. Okay, guys, I did not put this on vibrate, which I should have. So there we are. So if I carry that on, then that is going to carry on to the next day, which is not a good thing either. So I just wanted to put it out there that what is real is that we all have our own stuff, and what is real is that none of us are 100% centered, not even the most spiritual people. And that what I've learned is that just to be, like, right now, I'm just trying to be 100% authentic. And so if I feel like crap, then might come across, and that's okay. Thanks for the hearts, guys. And what I actually am feeling really grateful for these days is that I don't beat myself up about it. I apologize. I come from a place in my heart and a place of humbleness, and I say I'm so sorry for the day before, but that's it. I guess it had to come out, and then I start fresh the next minute, the next day, the next hour. And I just feel like that's a better spot to come from. That's a more authentic place to come from than trying to be positive all the time, or trying to be something that's not real. Because I feel like we've come to this earth to feel like, why else would we have emotions if they weren't meant to come out, if they weren't meant to be something important, right? And I also feel that when I express my emotions, and sometimes even when I let them get the best of me, I grow. I learn so much from it. It gives me perspective and compassion for other people, and I just really grow from them. So I just wanted to put it out there to everyone that that we're not all centered. Nobody is. And so when I'm putting the positive posts up and when I'm putting out questions, it's because I'm trying to get myself refocused. That's what I do to get myself refocused. And so it's just a tool and a technique. So Leslie's saying here, how do we not take on other people's emotions and hate the way they act and their negative thinking? I feel like I'm not from this world. Okay. You know what's funny, Leslie, is I feel that almost every day, that I'm not from this world. I just see things differently than most people. And so I'm going to be starting a group, and you know what? I've been thinking about it so much, I just have to do it. And that way, there's going to be a place for all of us who kind of think a little bit differently to just speak openly and honestly, because I want us all to be authentic. And so I think that's something that has always helped me, is that I've been able, because I totally had nobody that thought this way. And it wasn't until I started to grow a group of people with myself. Yeah, it totally drives you crazy. Like I used to say, like, I feel like my soul has left because it doesn't want to be here with all these people anymore who just don't even understand at all what I'm talking about. But now, once I moved. First off, I moved to here, and there was just more people who kind of thought the way I did, and it just made it easier for me. So that's what I did, and it made it easier for me. But your first question was, how do we not take on people's negative emotions? So that's a great topic, because I was just thinking about that. So I knew there was a reason this morning that I had to fly by the seat of my pants, because I just had to come from my heart today. So Leslie's saying, do I feel like I need others that think like me? Sorry, I don't quite understand that. So do I feel like I need others that think like me? Oh, this is lack of sleep talking. Right. So yes, definitely I will start a group, because you're right. We all need a little bit of support to be our authentic self. Yes, make the group. Thanks, Leslie. I'm definitely going to make that group. Okay. So your other thing was about not taking on other people's negative emotions. So here's what I try to do. It's that perception thing, that's what's real, right? There is this woman at my daughter's school who I've had interactions with probably 5 or 6 times. And the first 2 times, she was grumpy to me. And I'm not really a grumpy person often out in public. The people who take the brunt of my grumpiness is my family, because I just feel comfortable with them, right, to express my real emotions. And so anyways, I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking, how can she be so unpleasant when I am not coming from a unpleasant place? But I've really grown in that respect, and so I always automatically answer that question to myself with, Shannon, you do not know what is going on for that woman. You just don't even know. And that's why I want to talk about what's real, because even though it seems as though everything should be wonderful for those people, it obviously isn't, right? Like, nobody wants to be in that space of grumpiness, negativity. Nobody. So I always try to remember that and know that nobody wants to be in that space. Nobody. Some people get comfortable in that space, but still they'd rather not be in that space. They may not know that consciously, but it's in their heart. Like, so anyways, so with that woman, I kept brushing it off. And again, I would reassert that, obviously something is up with her. And I also say, it's not me, it's them. Like, something is going on for them. And so I'd come back to it every single time being pleasant. But I'll tell you this, I did avoid it, right? So that's that boundaries piece. Like, some days I just couldn't do it, because I myself was feeling low, and I didn't want to put myself in that position where I'd get sucked into that negativity or grumpiness, right? So I went out of my way not to have interactions. So that's another kind of technique you can do. However, when I did have to have interactions, I was pleasant. I just tried to remind myself that there's obviously something going on with you. And I will tell you, the last time I had an interaction with her, it was better. And then today I had an interaction with her, and it was pleasant. So, I almost feel like me being me and the way I was kind of had an impact on her. And so that's what we always have to remember, is that if you come from a place of compassion, and believe me, sometimes you can't, and that's okay too. That's that piece about being authentic in your emotions, right? Because sometimes if you're authentic, that'll have an impact too. But you just have to decide in the moment. I don't know this woman really well, so I didn't feel like my authentic emotions would have helped. And I also could tell that there was something going on. But I'll tell you, I really feel like my interactions with her wore her down. And it's almost like, sorry, thanks guys. It's almost like she finally saw a little bit of the light today and the last time I saw her. It's like she finally saw a little bit like this world isn't so terrible. There are good people here, right? So I feel like if we just keep doing us, that it's going to be okay. And it's 100% okay to put up those boundaries and not put yourself in a position to see those people when you just aren't up for it, because that's being authentic and true to yourself too. So I hope that answered your question, because I've been thinking about that a lot lately. And one of my mentors told me recently is that, well, one thing that I just started doing out of the blue, so I feel like that was divinely guided, is just handing my worries over to God. And I did it again yesterday, and I'm doing it again today. And I'll tell you, it's really helped me. So if I'm starting to take on something, or I've made something in my head, like somebody's mad at me because I didn't respond to them, or whatever it is, I will take that worry and I pass it over to God or the universe, and then I let it go. It's been working for me. Take it or leave it, but it's been working for me. And that's one way I don't take on emotions. Now, I've been really bad for it, actually. Like, that's just part of something I have to work through for myself in not taking on other people's emotions. But another thing is, if you're in the helping business, which I have had a really hard time with, like I'm a coach and I do the readings, and I tell you, I will think about people for weeks after, because I love people. Like, I just do. I just see that every single person has potential, and I see how amazing people are, even if they don't see it in themselves. And that's why I love doing the intuitive guidance, and I love doing coaching, and I love giving people a little bit of relief with the readings. So anyways, I'll take that on for a couple of weeks. But one of my coaches said to me recently is that what she did is that when she got an appointment with someone, she would hand that person over to the universe, and she would say, okay, universe, I need you to take care of them and prepare them for our meeting together, okay? And then, so that way she didn't think about them before they came. And also she was divinely inspired when they came. And so then when they came, she'd just open up and do what she did, coach them. And then when it was time to go, she would give herself, I'm not sure about this, but I know I'm going to do this, give myself 5-10 minutes to kind of send divine healing and guidance and send my higher self to them. But then what she did was then she handed them back over to the universe and say, you need to hold space for them until they come back to see me again, because she trusts the universe so much, and so do I. So that's what I'm going to do, because I am notorious for holding on to people's stuff afterwards, because I just want to find the solution, right? So I want to keep thinking and thinking and thinking about it. But that does nothing for anybody, because what that does is wear me out, and then I have no light to give to other people the next time, or even to them the next time. So those are a couple of techniques that I have started using. One being that I hand my worries over to the divine, and two being that if you do work with clients or people ongoing, like even co-workers, hand them physically, thank you guys, visually, over to God until your next interaction with them. Okay, so I hope that helps. That's so funny that I just want to talk about what's real here, guys, because Yesterday, my whole family was so sick and we were just up and down. You know how when everybody's sick and there's just emotionally touchy? Like that's how it was yesterday. And we all went to bed early, and then my daughter got up in the middle of the night at like 4 a.m. and I was up with her for an hour, and then finally got her to sleep, and then my son crawled in with us in my daughter's bed and he's rolling all around. So then I took him out and we went into his bed, and then I was like, you know what? And this is unlike me. I'm a rule follower, which I'm trying to kind of slowly get rid of because I feel like living in the flow is so much better. So this is what's real, because we're talking about what's real today in perceptions. And I'm done with being inauthentic. It's a struggle, believe me, to be your real self. It's so funny that it's a struggle to be your real self, but that's the place I'm trying to step into right now. So I just want to be open and honest with you right now. So that's what we did. So then I was like, okay, you know what? Who cares if we're late for school? Because totally, I would have been like, let's go, you're okay. But I thought everybody needs to sleep. So we slept in. So we go to take my daughter to school late and my son to daycare, and I had this inspiration, like we should take my son first, but he didn't really want to go first, so I went against that, right? But I should have. Anyway, so we take my daughter to school. That's kind of a mess, but whatever. Then we go to take my son to school. Well, now he's totally thrown off because he's an hour late and he doesn't get to go outside. And anyway, so I literally dropped him off and I stayed with him for like 20 minutes bawling, and then drove here and literally got here 1 minute before I'm supposed to go on, and I'm like, I have not a clue what I'm supposed to talk about. But this is the different space I'm in now, where I'm like, you know what? It will come to me. Because God and the universe obviously want me to shed some light on some of these things, pass on the light that they're giving me. And so here we are. And you guys had wonderful questions this morning. So that's exactly why it was meant to be. So that's what's real, right? In life, that's what's real. And I'll tell you, driving home, I'm panicking a little bit. Like, that's what's real, right? But if I didn't tell you that stuff, we may be talking right now, and you may not know any of that stuff. And you may not think that, you might think I got it all together. But so I don't. You know what I mean? Like, my son was bawling. And I felt like the worst mom ever, but it is what it is, right? And we just keep moving. So, but I just want to let everybody know that when you see somebody, there's a 90% of stuff you don't even have a clue about. People are so complicated. That's another piece I wanted to talk about today, is people are so complicated. We put everybody in boxes and we say, this person is this and this person is that, but that's not the case. Everybody is so complicated. I remember growing up, and maybe, hi Sheila, how are you doing? And maybe you guys can list this in the comments. Like, growing up, I will tell you that everyone said that I was really nice, and everyone said that I was, I don't know, there's different things. Oh, quiet. Everyone said that I was quiet. But people are so complex, and there's different life experiences that will show you that you are more than the box that you put yourself in, and more than the box that everyone else put yourself in. So there was a couple experiences that I realized, that I kind of figured out that I could talk in front of people, that I had at school, which was so crazy because I really was kind of a quiet, introverted person. But there's these experiences that life throws you to show you that you have no limit. Okay? Really? None of us have limits. All these limits we put in front of ourselves are all they're just fake. And then life will throw you experiences at the time which you panic about, and you think, damn, what am I going to do with this, right? But then you get through it and you realize that you are now outside of the box and you're now something different. So Sheila says here, yes, she says how people judge, that's how they feel about themselves. Stay strong. That's right. So often what people are putting on you is often how they feel about themselves. That's so true. It's a mirror, right? That's for sure true, Sheila. So the last thing I wanted to talk about here, because I know I'm trying to keep them short, is that when we get into like our 30s, whenever we realize we're a grown-up, right? We feel like we should know what is right and wrong and the truth, and we should know all about the universe. But I'll tell you, it wasn't until I was in my early 30s, late 20s that I realized that I don't know anything. You know, and I'm just starting to learn real life now. It's like up until my late 20s, I learned what our society wanted to teach us. And now I'm slowly learning that, like, none of that is real. None of that is real. And what's real is what's in my heart and what I feel, and it's a slow unlearning. So that's why I feel like we all have to take it easy on ourselves and not feel like we all have the answers, and just be authentic and show everybody what's real. Okay? Show everybody what's real. Yeah, I'm starting to get better. I have been working on this for 4 or 5 years actually, in that if I really am not feeling like I should go somewhere, I don't go. Now, also have a problem where I think to myself, I'm going to miss out. Oh, I'm going to miss out, right? But I'm getting better at that too. So I feel like we have to understand that, and I've heard this in spiritual groups too, is that in our 30s is when we start to unlearn all the stuff we learned. And so we have to take it easy on ourselves and know that now we're kind of starting over again, and that it's okay when we're uncentered. It's okay when we're grumpy with someone else. But what you can do after that is just, like I said, come from a place of being humble and genuine, and say what you're sorry for, and don't apologize for things you're not sorry for, and then try again the next day. Yeah, so I think actually that's all I had to talk about. Does anybody else have any questions? Or any comments they want to say? Today I just wanted to talk about being real and being authentic. And I'll tell you, when I started to be more real, because it's still a process, I would say that actually I'm only centered probably 50% of the time, and the other 50% of the time I'm doing better. But it's a growing process, and being authentic, that's been a goal of mine for the last year, and I'll tell you, it really hasn't even started to hit the surface till the last couple months. It's hard to be yourself. It's hard to feel that judgment of other people, but always know that you can let go of that, knowing that everybody else has so much stuff going on, and when you're authentic, other people can feel that and then let their guard down too, right? That's what I've noticed. Thank you, Cindy. You know what? This is all real stuff for me. Like, I'm so glad it's hitting home for you, because that's what I'm saying. And in you, Cindy, in you being authentic and being open with people, it's going to allow somebody else to let their guard down. Because right now, we're in a society where everybody has their guards up so high. It's like we've all created these fake standards that are insane, and truthfully, in the last year, to get back to my authenticity, thank you for the hearts, Leslie, to get back to my authenticity in the last couple of years, what I did was, as I got rid of all my friends, all of them. I got rid of every single one, and I felt terrible about it, to tell you the honest truth, because I couldn't understand. I felt in my soul I had to do it, but I couldn't figure out why. I couldn't give a reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just couldn't give a reason, but I knew in my heart I had to, and it was because I had to pare it down just to my family, the people I felt 100% safe with, so that then I could grow. Now looking back, I know this, so that then I could grow and then feel strong in being authentic, right? Now, that's not true. I actually kept a couple of friends that I only see a few times a year, and I can be 100% myself around them too. But yeah, so now I understand that, and now I've forgiven myself for that, because for a long time I had guilt about letting these friends go, right? But now I can see it. But now I'm getting off topic. Anyways, point being is that, okay, yes, I had to let my friends go so that I could grow into being authentic. And I felt super guilty for that, but now in the understanding of it, I've forgiven myself for it. Because I understand now why I did it, and I think it was important. 100% I think it was important, because I feel like I'm in this space now where I can be authentic, and I can share that authenticity with people, and I feel like that's bringing some light to myself and to other people, because I just want to grow this group of people who are just 100% themselves. I'm not 100% myself yet, but I'm getting there, and I hope all of you will get there too with me. So Sheila says she's sending so much strength. Thank you, Sheila, and angel blessings, and she's trusting and believing. She has cut some people out too. She outgrew them, right? And sometimes we do. We just outgrow people, right? And that for me that feels so terrible, but it's so not. It's so perfect, because when we keep people around that we no longer fit with, it drags our energy down, and it drags our purpose down, and we also hold them back. So right now I've been just like Sheila, it sounds like, is trying to stay in the flow, and just stay in the flow, and not be too hard on myself when things aren't going the way I think they should go, or the way a good person would have them go. I just try to be authentic, feel the feelings, be in the moment, and know that there's a day, the next day I can start over. Know that the next day I can start over. Okay? So thank you all for being here today. I so appreciate Cindy and Leslie and Sheila coming out for the live, and whoever else is here. I see that there's 7 people watching, but you have to comment in the comment for me to know who it is. So thank you all for being here today, and I will see you next Tuesday, and I'm going to get started on that group. So I'm going to put out a post, and then if you want to be part of the group, just comment in the comments, and then that way we'll get started. I'm also I'm going to have a kind of like a one-off. Hi, Michelle! I haven't seen you in so long. So glad you're here, Michelle. And I'm loving everybody's baby Christmas pictures, by the way. I'm seeing them and I'm loving them, because they are hilarious. Hi, Scott! Everybody's shouting out now. Love all the hearts. Love you guys being here. So yeah, I'm going to start a one-off group. I need to learn a program, so I'm going to see if there's maybe a couple of people who want to help me learn that program, and it's just going to be like a 45-minute session where we're all just going to get together, and I'm going to try out a couple things, so I'll be putting that in the posts too. Okay, well, thank you everyone for being here. Love you guys so much, and here's to being real. Okay, take care, guys. Bye.